Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, man. And I asked you, you told me what you wanted to see. So today we're going to take a look at Legacy Motormaster. Let's dig into him. Alright guys, so we got Legacy Motormaster here. Pretty short. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything that that is new and revolutionary here about this truck mode. Yeah, it's the truck mode. The trailer is super short. Hasbro did some tricky photography. However, let's get this upgrade kit piece I'm working on out of the way. However, mine does have some QC issues. Big surprise from this guy, right? This guy seems to be loaded with QC issues, whether he's yellowed or, in the case of mine, the back wheels here are, the plastic here is warped. So, as you guys can see, doesn't necessarily line up. There we go. You can definitely see how warped that is. I have done everything to heat this up, blow dryer, heat gun, water, to be able to mold this back into shape, and it won't hold its shape. The top ones here are not as bad, but there is a slight, very slight bend in the plastic, but nowhere near as bad as this guy. Now, I have seen people's trailer wheels just not even hold up. They just end up collapsing like that. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe the pin didn't go through properly or something, but yeah, I can't fix that. I can't fix that at all. But just something to be aware of, I guess. Also, the thing that I've noticed too is that the stripe here does not go up all the way as this side. This side actually sits a little bit higher than this stripe side. Also, it does break up right here, which is a shame. I wished it had continued all the way across. To prove my point here on the trailer, here's my brush. I'm going to line it up with the top here, and with the top part of the stripe, I'm going to line it up, and as you guys can see, it doesn't quite sit as high as this one. So basically what they should have done, this stripe right here, this molded in line right there should have been painted purple as well. It is a bit of a shame, but whatever. I mean, I guess it kind of is what it is on that one. But yeah, both sides. There's the back. Looks very much like a trailer. Kind of reminds me of a refrigerated trailer, but there's that. There's the trailer. Here's Motormaster himself. Love the truck mode. I know a lot of people are having issues with this hole right here in the grill. It's basically due to transformation and stuff, and something that could have been easily remedied by squaring off these sections instead of rounding them off. My top piece up here does not peg in properly, so it doesn't really sit flat. But other than that, don't really have any issues. I do wonder, however, why they didn't put like a flap or something here to cover up this hole, this gaping hole. But other than that, the truck mode, I think, looks fantastic. So let's get this guy into bot mode and show you guys what he looks like in that. Alright guys, so here we got Motormaster in his robot mode. Now something I wanted to show here is the pins here. You can actually see on the back side have less of a profile. Now what these are for, these are 5mm peg holes for when he's in truck mode for the cab, the top of the cab to peg into right there. So now if you really wanted to, you can work this around like so and then spin it back around, and it will give you a smaller profile on the pin. But it does add one extra step, or two extra steps, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it, to transformation. So again, you just spin it around like that, and then spin the leg around, and you get a smaller profile on the pins. I do think that looks a ton better than having those pins stick out the way that they do up front. However, other than that, that's really the only nitpick, gripe, whatever you want to call it, on this guy here. Also, when you transform him, I've seen people say that he's back heavy, he doesn't stand up too well. You got to bring, at least on mine, what I've noticed, when you transform him, I see a lot of people kind of leave him like this. Okay, and that will make him back heavy. You bring the leg completely up to where the screw hole is floating just above the leg there, like that. And that should fix all of your back heaviness. Now, in terms of weaponry here, we get this sword. Dude, this sword is lame as hell. I don't know what this is supposed to be for, because it's too big for him. It looks way out of place for him, especially with the hilt here. If the hilt was smaller, it would look just fine. But then again, it's also Minosaur's sword. It's used for Minosaur as well. And Minosaur, this looks like a butter knife in Minosaur's hand. So, not too sure exactly what they were going for here with the sword. And you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It's just too big for him. Like I said, just hilt-wise. Height-wise, it could be just fine. It's out of scale for him, like width-wise. It just looks really weird. Now, his other weapon, if you take the trailer here, and you take the trailer apart, there is a gun for him in the trailer. So again, take the trailer apart, and we'll get into all of this. And then right here in the center, there is a gun for Motormaster. And this plugs into his hand, a 5mm port, obviously. Now, this turns out to be a problem too. As you can see, he can't really hold it up. It'll eventually, on mine, the arm up here is a little loose, and it'll eventually fall down. But the other thing is too, is this whole thing right here, you know, opens and closes and stuff. And this is supposed to be a turret for him because they gave us his G1 style toy base mode out of this whole thing as well, which I think is pretty nifty. It's just he just lacks in the weaponry department. I really think he should have been, you know, he really should have just been equipped with a sword that's scaled for him and a sword scaled for Motormaster or Minosaur, instead of this thing, and he should have come with his own gun, and this could have been you know, something kind of standalone thing on its own. But yeah, that's the bot mode. I think the bot mode looks fantastic. There's plenty of paint on this guy where there should be paint. The chest here has got purple on it. The face is this really nice metallic purple paint on the face. The white shoulders up here, the white is paint, and all of this is paint as well. There are a couple places that I feel like could have used a little bit more paint, just in different little areas to bring out more detail. But other than that, it's, like I said, it's not really terrible. Like, these are supposed to be lights right here. Maybe painted these yellow or something like that. Just little bitty things here and there that could have gone a little bit further. But yeah, love this guy. Love the bot mode. Love the silhouette here that it makes. So let's check out his battle base mode. Alright guys, so here we've got part of the base mode. I didn't put it all together. Just know that you have to take the trailer completely apart in order to do this, and you end up spreading it out. Just spread it out. And I just don't have the space for that on. I just don't have the space to do that here and show you guys how exactly it works. But what you do is, for the main part, you just take apart the front of the trailer, you plug the gun on top, and it gives him a nice little turret to be able to man. His face does kind of line up with the screen here when you have it all said and done, because he ends up standing, on part of the trailer, and it lines his face up like that with the turret. So you can kind of pretend like it's a screen back there or something, which I'm pretty sure Toy Hacks will make it a screen. But yeah, so we do get this battle base mode. I think it's pretty cool, but also at the same time, it's cool, but isn't really needed. It's kind of one of those things, right? But all in all, I do think it's pretty awesome. And again, if he had weapons, Motormaster had his own weapons, you'd be able to plug them into, like, say, down here on the bottom or different places on the base mode or something along those lines. But yeah, I do think it's really, really cool. A bit of a missed opportunity, again, because he doesn't come with his own weapons. But, hey, I still like it. I still think it's a pretty cool, nifty little base mode as for what we get. So there's one more mode to go into. Well, let's talk about that one. Alright guys, so here we go. We got the final piece of Motormaster all worked up right here. And I gotta say, I do love the transformation that this guy has into bot mode, truck mode, into his combined mode here. I do love it. I think it's a really, really cool engineering here for Motormaster to do all of this. But, however, we're seeing a lot of copycat engineering from Hasbro lately. But, yeah, whatever. I've harped on that quite a bit. Anyway, so you want to slide this whole section into what is the trailer, or the front part of the trailer. You lock it in, push it in as far as you can go. You flip the tab up like that. That solidifies them in there. And then you take these exhaust ports and you throw them up like that. So now you've got the torso of Minosaur. Then these arm bits here slide over this section here. They will lock into place. Okay, you just kind of, I'll do it again. You guys can actually, there's an audible click that you guys can hear whenever they do get locked into place. So there you go. Pretty cool articulation here. And there's my wheel right there. You guys can definitely see how out of shape that is. And you guys can see it on this side as well. This side is nowhere near as bad, like I was saying earlier. But, so you got the trailer leftover bits. And this is a Combiner Wars peg. Hasbro lied to you. You just plug this in, you slide it in, and yes, your Combiner Wars figures will fit here 100%. There's an extra tab here. You line it up right here, and they say this is to secure it, whatever, to give you added security or whatever, more of an added secure connection. So we've got Minosaur. He is a big boy here, but there's a few things here that I do want to address, that I am going to address here, and I am going to talk about them later on when I review Minosaur as a whole. But this trailer piece, the part that becomes the turret stand, does not integrate at all whatsoever into Minosaur. That is disappointing to me. I've seen a bunch of third-party companies now, DNA Design specifically, turn this thing into some type of Gatling gun for Minosaur. They're doing like some add-on pieces and stuff, but essentially it's just gonna sit like this essentially you just sit it like this, and there's going to be an added on piece down here and stuff, and Minosaur is just going to have this giant Gatling gun. I think it's freaking phenomenal, and I really think that it's something that Hasbro should have thought about, trying to integrate this piece into Minosaur itself. Unfortunately, they did not. But so I'm really looking forward to the DNA upgrade kit for this guy to give him a Gatling gun. And I'm hoping that somebody comes along and does some kind of backpack, like a bullet backpack or something to put on here, and then some kind of bullet chain thing to run to this. I think that'd be super badass. The other issue is here are with the feet down here. So he is back heavy, and he's not really as stable as he should be. My feet here don't lay flat, and I'm going to bring you guys down here and show you guys what I'm talking about here. So the heel spurs don't lay flat, and as you guys can see, he's leaning forward, and there's a lot of weight being pushed onto this front section here. And what's bad about that is that's how it transforms into trailer mode. So you can see if they're not locked in properly, or your locks are loose or broken or something here, you can definitely see there is a possibility here for him leaning forward and falling forward. Now, I'm not going to judge him too harshly on this as of yet, because as you guys can see, there's no Minosaur or Motormat or Breakdown or Wild Rider on the back of him. So I'm hoping here that the added weight of the extra Carbots will straighten him out like this and make him more back heavy than he is front heavy. Yeah, it's just a precautionary. I'm just talking about it right now. I'm not really knocking it, not holding it against the figure at all because of that. Just talking about it here because, like I said, I do hope that the Wild Rider and Breakdown here will remedy that weight issue. Because if you look on the back of him up top, bring you guys back up real quick. If you look at him up top, you know, he does have a lot of weight back here already because of Motormaster. So I'm hoping, like I said, that the weight down here will add to it. Speaking of added things, when you guys get the Carbots on, these doors will close up. Mine on this side, the spring catches the latch. As you can kind of hear it, it works pretty roughly. This side works like butter. This side kind of catches whatever it is it's catching in there. But yeah, so that's the combined mode with the trailer into a pseudo Minosaur. Yeah, let's go into final thoughts. Alright everyone, so final thoughts time here. I like the figure, I do. I think the Motormaster is fantastic. There are some things here and there that I would have done differently, that I wish Hasbro would have done differently. Again, give him better weapons. The gun here doesn't necessarily bother me. I think it is properly scaled for Minosaur to be, I don't know, like some kind of like smaller, like semi-automatic kind of machine gun type of thing. So I think this works for him. This punching dagger, I mean, that's a butter knife. I mean, like I said, it's not scaled for Motormaster. It's definitely not scaled for Minosaur. All in all, though, I don't think it's a bad figure. But I also kind of feel like at the price point that this guy is, really shouldn't need to worry about all of the QC issues that have come along with this guy. All of the yellowing, I shouldn't have to worry whether or not the figure is going to be yellowed when I get him out of the box. I shouldn't have to go to, you know, different forums, TFW, 2005, you know, all that stuff, Sabertron, T-Formers, all that. I shouldn't have to look to see if the batch number that I'm getting on the box is a yellowed one or a gray one. There's a lot of QC issues here with this guy, and that's highly unfortunate because I know how highly anticipated this guy was for a lot of people. He was highly anticipated for myself, and just worrying about, am I going to get a yellow one or not, that's something that we shouldn't have to go through. I think the batch numbers are split like 60-40, so the chances of you getting a non-yellow one is higher than getting a yellowed one, but not by much, right? So, and I think that's highly unfortunate because I think the Minosaur is fantastic so far. I think the Motormaster is phenomenal. I can definitely see a couple of retools coming from him. Thunderclash being one of the main ones. You give Thunderclash a different trailer, and there you go. You got Thunderclash. He doesn't need to combine or anything. But I think it would be really cool if he did combine, because that way we can get Motormaster in different colors, or Minosaur in different colors. We can get like a Cybertron Minosaur homage type of thing out of a Thunderclash, and that'd be really cool. But I'm getting sidetracked and off topic here. But all in all, I think it's a great figure. Do I recommend the figure? Again, it's iffy to say. If you guys feel like it, you want to take the chance on getting possibly a yellow one and going through the headache and the hassle and all of that stuff, then go for it. If you feel like it's not worth it and you want to just get a really, really good Motormaster figure and spend the $100 or so that this guy would cost, and you just want a Motormaster for your shelf, X-Transbots is arguably a really good way to go, because you can get the X-Transbots Motormaster on sale for $100. Obviously, you lose out on the Minosaur gimmick at that price point, but like I said, if you just want just a Motormaster, there are other options for you if you don't want to take the risk on the whole yellowing and QC problems here with this guy. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Yeah, I'll put another poll up to see what you guys want to see next time. Don't know what else to say, except for stay safe, be good to yourself, be good to others. Most important thing out there, man, is to be good to yourself. And I'll see you guys next video, and as always, cut it out. Later.